Hi guys, good afternoon. A happy 4th to everyone, and I hope you're all staying safe and cool. It is incredibly hot where I live. I don't know about the rest of you, but I hope you're all having a safe and nice 4th of July, and above all, staying safe and cool, because boy, is it a scorcher out there. So, and I'm sure it is everywhere else in the country. So, welcome back to another video here on the EdWord, where in today's video, I will be discussing what I thought of the latest and very intriguing episode of House of the Dragon, which dropped its third episode of its second season this past Sunday. I finally had a chance to sit down and watch it. Just got done watching it, liked it a lot. Before I get into all of that, of course, please be warned that this is a spoiler-filled review. So if you're not caught up on House of the Dragon like I was, you may not want to keep watching or listening to this episode review, as I will be discussing spoilers, plot details, character stuff, all that jazz. That being said, you have been warned. Let's dive right back into it. First and foremost, this episode felt a bit calmer, a bit tamer in comparison to the first two episodes. Granted, not every episode is going to be a WTF moment-filled episode with moments that make your jaw drop or go, whoa, or yeah, or no, stuff like that. But this episode was still interesting and quite engaging. You know, Rhaenyra sneaking back to King's Landing and having a private convo with Alicent and the Sept was pretty cool. The chase scene between Baela, I think her name is, on Dragonback, chasing down Sir Criston and his men was pretty cool. And then, not sure why they randomly introduced this half-brother of Viserys, who's also the uncle of Rhaenyra, to us in a brothel where the king and his posse end up showing up at. Not sure what that was about, but I guess it'll pay off in some way before the season is out. I don't know. Daemon found Harrenhal, took it rather easily since the people living there quickly swore fealty to Rhaenyra and said fuck everybody else, so okay, great. It was such a delight to see Millie Alcock return briefly as a young Rhaenyra, even though she's going to be very busy in the next couple of years with the new Supergirl movie coming out in 2026. I'm sure she's probably committed to that for a while, but it's nice that we got to see her again as Rhaenyra, even though it was in the form of a dream or a nightmare Daemon was having, possibly a reflection of his own guilt. Is he truly the monster we think he is, or is there a shred of humanity or decency left in him where he feels possibly bad for being the responsible for the death of a child? Who knows, but it does make for interesting character work, doesn't it? The opening battle was interesting because it showed the political divide amongst those who are in Westeros, and clearly these two houses had been at each other's throat for a while, but now using the Hightower and Targaryen conflict as an excuse to have it out and then have a whole freaking battle occur shows that the political divide in Westeros is deepening, and people are really starting to choose sides between the Hightowers and Rhaenyra and her allies. Even though they don't have much of an army, it sounds like Harrenhal is the key to seizing power in Westeros, or at least that part of the country. And if you take Harrenhal, you could then march on King's Landing. And both sides seem to be aware of that. So this episode felt like a good stager, a stager for the battle to come in the next two episodes or so. Overall, I liked it. I really loved the fact that they finally brought to light that one scene from season 1 where Rhaenyra is told one thing by Viserys, and then Alicent is told another thing, and she misunderstands his words as meaning her son is meant to be king, when in reality he was referring to the story of Aegon the Conqueror and the prince that was promised in the long night to come, which would eventually be the events that play out in the series Game of Thrones. So I'm so glad that somebody finally realize, oh, this has all been one big, gigantic misunderstanding, perhaps the greatest misunderstanding in the history of Westeros. But sadly, Alicent didn't seem too keen on believing it, and even if she did believe it, she doesn't seem too keen on stopping a war that hasn't even begun yet, but the pieces are already in motion. A lot of blood has been spilt, you know, people have been taking sides, and innocents have been lost. and both sides are feeling pretty wrathful towards the other. So even though this misunderstanding has been cleared up, it does not mean stopping or averting war at all. If anything, it will just give it a reason later when it's written down in the history books. So we'll see what happens with that. But I'm so glad they finally addressed that huge misunderstanding between Viserys, Rhaenyra, and Alicent, where Rhaenyra figures it out, tries to tell Alicent, but Alicent either doesn't want to hear it or if she does believe it, her sentiment is, well, it's too late already because I have no power and they do everything without me and I can't stop them. Where Rhaenyra at least seems willing to try to end this peacefully, but it's still too late. And if they had come to an understanding, the show would be over, not just the season, but the series as a whole. So obviously that's not going to be ending. The show won't be ending anytime soon since it just got a season 3 pickup. So overall, I really liked this episode. It still had some pretty great moments. Nothing as shocking as the first 2 episodes, but it was still just as captivating and intriguing all the same. So I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. What did you think of this episode? I'd love to hear your thoughts and feelings on it. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day and a happy 4th of July. Stay tuned for a couple more videos I've got coming your way, uploading later today as I'm playing catch up on my shows. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and of course, until next time, may the Force be with you.